I question my life decisions every day.
I'm your host, and we got John, but then we also have a call-in today. We have our friend Logan with us as well. John, do you want to go ahead and kick us off?
All right, let's kick this off. So today we're going to do things, we're going to talk about politics, but before we get into the nitty-gritty part of things, I have been reading a wonderful book, and I wanted to talk about some, well, they're not really lightheartedness. I mean, it is a war book. It's With the Old Breed. I know I've mentioned it on here before. By E.B. Sledge, a.k.a. Sledgehammer. It's a very interesting book. So we're not just talking about the book, though. We are stepping into one of the most honest and most realistic, unflinching accounts of war that has ever been written. Okay, I'm sorry, this is kind of hard because you're not here sitting across from me today. So, but again, this is a book called The Old Breed by Eugene B. Sledge. I know a lot of people are fans of World War II here, but have you honestly ever wondered, Kyle or Logan, or Colin, have you guys ever wondered what it was really like to fight in the Pacific War during World War II? Not your Hollywood version that we see in the movies, but actually really what it was like.
No, actually, I haven't really wondered about it. I mean, I've had a little bit of a taste of it in training, when in basic training for the National Guard, and also just all the other training we did, but I never really thought about probably the absolutely wretched conditions they were in.
Yeah, I mean, they were in some pretty bad, crappy spots. So this book, right here, I'll show you. This is my copy of the book here. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. They have multiple different covers and everything. Gives you a rare glimpse into what it was like to fight on two of the battlefields in World War II in the Pacific Theater. Peleliu and Okinawa. Sledge, he's a quiet southern boy. They nicknamed him Sledgehammer due to some of the things he did on the battlefield. He was a part of a mortar crew, so kind of makes sense, the nickname there. It is not a tale of glory. It's a story of a young man discovering both the darkest and most enduring parts of the human spirit. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. So the first segment here that we're going to talk about, I gave it a title here. It's called The Making of a Marine. Okay, I don't have the script memorized, so forgive me that I'm going to be looking at my phone, just catching up on things. Before he was a Marine, Eugene Sledge, he was a birdwatching boy from Mobile, Alabama. He grew up in a stable, educated household, and his father was a physician, and his mother and father had two kids, two sons. He loved the music and the outdoors, so pretty much everything that, I mean, I love, the outdoors. And he was a very gentle soul. Most of his friends, when you talk about him, said he was too soft for war, that he couldn't ever see him fighting. But after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, Sledge was 18. He felt the call to serve his country. Like many Americans at that time, many young men at that time wanted to step up. His parents did not agree, though. Like many parents of the time, they didn't want their kids to go over there and just be cannon fodder. So his parents tried to get him into college or enter into a safety branch. So eventually, he was tired of arguing with his parents, and he did I would say the most rash thing a young man can do, and join the United States Marine Corps. Which at the time, and I still think today, I'm mighty proud of my brother who has served in the Marine Corps, is one of the best branches out there. So if you don't like it, you can come and fight me for that. So, because he knew the Marines were going to be frontline. They weren't going to just be sitting back there twiddling their thumbs. He trained, his boot camp was at Camp Elliott and then later at Camp Pendleton. I honestly don't know where Camp Elliott's at. Do you know, Kyle?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay. Well, everyone knows Camp Pendleton is in California. Camp Elliott. Do you want to do a quick Google search?
I've got it right here.
Okay.
First off, hi, I'm Logan.
Hi, Logan.
It is in San Diego, California.
Okay, so pretty darn close then. So Sledge, like every Marine who's been through boot camp, talks about how horrible it was, in a good way. I use that word. It was very, very good. He kept a tiny New Testament book in his pocket, which I think is going to come into play. I honestly think as you learn more and more about his story, you will understand how dedicated of a man he was as a young man. And it was his lifeline during the fighting of Peleliu and Okinawa. And pardon me if I get those island names wrong. I'm doing my best here. So during this fight, we all know they had to literally take inch by inch. Literally from foxhole to foxhole on these islands. And I just want to shout out maybe to Kyle or Logan if you guys have an answer for this. I have some questions here. If you were 18 or 19 and you guys were sailing towards war and the enemy refused to surrender, no matter what, they wouldn't surrender, what would you hold on to? Your faith, a family photograph, a promise to yourself? Like, what do you think you would have to hang on to your sanity?
I don't know if we should put that in the terms of being 18 or 19. What if we was to put it in the terms of being where we're at right now as fathers? All three of us are fathers.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and answer that as a dad then. What do you think you could hold on?
Me personally, I'm holding on to a picture of my wife and kid, my two boys, and trying to hold on to the mental sanity of, hey, I've got to be a good enough father and husband when I return home. I can't be really messing up or committing war crimes to the extent that I can't look my wife in the eye and say I'm an honest man.
My thing is how would you do that, though? It's war.
I know it's war, but there's still rules of war.
Yes, there is, but you're fighting against the Japanese who did not abide by those rules. I just trying to make just like I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Well, it's try your darndest to keep by your mental sanity that you go in with. Like, I understand that a lot of people lose their sanity and lose who they are in a war, but it's hanging on to
It's about to be
the
done.
mentality of, hey, I've got to.
Oh, this is better.
I got to keep a good heart and mind when I get home.
No, I really do like that. I do like that, Logan. I just had to press you just a little harder. Just as you read about this is the. I don't think people realize what it was like to honestly fight the Japanese back in World War II. I mean, none of us
ever know.
Yeah, none of us lived through it. None of us. I mean, this book is.
That's a hardship that's gonna stay with the greatest generation.
That is something that we will. I mean, throughout all the wars. I mean, each war has its own violence, its own extreme. But I mean, you're an 18-year-old or 19-year-old young man storming a beach. They wait till you're on the beach. You're comfortable. You're like, ha! We took this island. They open fire, and they no mercy. You know, at least like when you learn about the Nazis, you have the SS, which was horrible division, but your normal German soldier, if they saw the medics running around, they would allow the medics to pick up the wounded and take them off the battlefield.
Not at the end of the war. During the main part of it, yes, but at the end of 1945, the Germans were well known of using the Red Cross on the medics' helmets as a bullseye.
Oh yeah, for sure, but the Marines didn't even get that courtesy to start with. From the very start.
No, and the Japanese never saw the Americans as human.
Yeah, but that also comes from our backgrounds as well. The Japanese did not have a Judeo-Christian background, unlike all of Europe has that. So even though the Germans did start doing that later on, they weren't doing that at first because we had a lot of the same background, a lot of the same shared common values.
Yeah.
That obviously got degraded in 1930s Germany and 40s Germany.
Well, of course, it's horrible.
But it started out where they did have that background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want
Like
to.
I was saying.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're
I don't
good.
mean to interrupt.
No, you're
like I
you're
was
fine.
saying,
That's-
like if we were to go into war today, what would we keep? Like your question, what would we keep with us? Like I would imagine a lot of the soldiers in 1944, 1945 Germany, they were boys.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the men in Germany, Russia, anywhere in Europe, most of the young men were gone. I want to say the stat was like 1 in 5 had disappeared.
Yeah.
So like you're taking young teenagers going into the war. They don't have that mental grip of sanity, so they're gonna have they got to survive. So they got to do what they got to do.
Hey, no judgment here. I mean, none of us truly know how we're going to act under pressure. You can say it in your mind what you're going to do, but you never know until you're put into that situation. And I mean,
Exactly.
these young men
we
were
can-
put into the worst. So.
We can say the same thing for our combat veterans in the global war on terror.
Oh yeah. I mean, they were mostly. I mean, I know a lot of young men who served their country, right out of high school, and
I had a leader growing up who went and served in Kuwait, and he had horror stories of friends who had went to Iraq, Afghanistan, and were blown up by IEDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can think of how awful World War II was, especially in the Pacific, but when you go into reality, landmines are 500 pounds now. IEDs flying out.
I mean, nowadays and now modern warfare. I mean, I'm terrified. They can drop a drone that's the size of this mic, and the next thing you know, your head explodes. It's
Exactly.
It's
IEDs
terrifying.
flying out.
Yeah, it's terrifying. But
Yeah, drones are going to completely change how combat even works.
I'd say for the next 2 to 3 years, but once we find a counter to it, they'll become ineffective. That's me personally.
They'll be effective, but then their application will just be more limited. I mean, that's the thing. It's like our airplanes, for example, fighter aircraft, bomber aircraft. We have all these different aircraft specialized for different tasks. Because
Exactly.
when airplanes were first introduced, they all just did everything. And then they got
mostly
effective
surveillance in
counters.
World War I, weren't they?
Yeah, that was the first war with aircraft and the first war with tanks. And both of them, they were kind of just the go-to. They just threw everything out there at once. They all did everything pretty much.
dude, imagine being a World
But-
War I soldier and
Yeah,
the
that'd be
first time you
freaking
see a
terrible.
tank just rolling
to be
across a
fair,
battlefield.
To be fair, you probably wouldn't see a tank first. You probably just see your skin melting off from the freaking gases.
I know, but like,
Well,
imagine you're sitting there in the trench and the freaking ground just starts going,
Yeah.
and you're
It's
like,
like-
what?
To get back to that though, it's like airplanes, they were kind of a catch-all where they just did everything. They were dropping bombs, they were shooting each other, and then once effective countermeasures came across for them, that's when they all started being specialized. They started specializing aircraft to do certain things. I think that same thing will happen to drones. Drones will first come in, they'll be kind of a catch-all. They'll be used just in mostly just swarms and whatnot, just doing everything they can all at once. Then after a while, they'll specialize in their tasks. They'll have drones for specific operations.
Well, luckily, these boys that we're talking about today didn't have to deal with that. They had their own horrors to deal with. So just to finish what I was curious about today in discussion, but in September 1944, Sledge and the 1st Marine Division landed on Peleliu, which is a tiny coral island in the Peleliu chain. Strategically, it was meant to protect General MacArthur's pushback towards the Philippines, but tactically it became one of the most brutal battles of the entire war. And as you look at the whole Pacific theater, it was kind of like, why did they even fight it? It was one of those battlefields, but at the time it was like, hey, we have to take every island because they didn't know what was going to happen. You know, they didn't know the outcome of the war like we have the privilege to know now. So when they're fighting, man, 115 degree weather, no water, coral dust and everything. Pretty much everywhere you step, you run a risk of cutting yourself open. And the Japanese, out of every island, had turned it into pretty much a fortress, because they dug into every nook and cranny, and no matter how much we bombed them, it didn't do anything because they were just underground. So Sledge describes this. This is a quote from him, as he says, "The Marines would crawl forward under machine gun fire that turned the coral ridges into meat grinders." So just pretty much, it was just a mess. It was just gory everywhere. And the overwhelming stench of death. Imagine dead bodies in 115 degrees. You can't even move them. You know, it's your buddy in the foxhole that you barely managed to scrape out of the coral. Like,
Yeah.
disgusting.
I mean, think about how bad a animal carcass stinks.
Oh, yeah.
As you start
I
processing
know
it.
that. I've come across a half-rotten carcass covered in maggots before. It's rancid.
Yeah. And
I was
imagine
gonna
now.
say, John and I know what a fresh carcass smells like. I can't imagine what one that's been there for
Or-
weeks on end.
100
Yeah, I found
100
one-
dead carcasses together.
I found one at Camp Mapledale when I was working there, and it was half eaten from a cougar that got it in the night, and it was like, I think probably, it had to have been probably at least a month old. I mean, there was a mass of maggots just swarming, just crawling
Yeah,
around.
disgusting.
and it
So
was
he
rancid.
goes into this, and it's this show. They use this book in the Pacific by HBO on HBO. Great movie, great TV show, by the way. A lot of swearing, a lot of gory, just all out. Not a kid's show. Definitely not kid friendly. But he talks about how the Knights, like the Japanese, would just constantly just torture them with launching artillery strikes, like fake artillery, and just make noise all night and keep the Marines up. So you're sleep deprived. You don't know if it's a real attack. You don't know if it's fake. You know, you're just freaking out. But he also recalls stepping over corpses decayed with the mud. And the men would get so... they'd lose their humanity, and they would collect the gold teeth out of the enemy soldiers and pluck them out. And he admits in moments of his moral numbness when survival instincts silenced everything else. Yet there was a flicker of grace with a shared can of peaches or a joke whispered before a patrol, briefly being able to see the sky. I mean, these islands were once beautiful places to just peaceful places. Break through the smoke. Even through hell, humanity fought to survive, guys. Just Peleliu was incredibly just horrible. And he ends his fight on Okinawa, actually, is where he is when the war ends, if I remember correctly here. Okinawa was worse. In April 1945, it was the last major battle of the Pacific, a fight for the island just 350 miles from Japan. Okay, you're on home turf. And it lasted 82 days and claimed over 200,000 soldiers' lives. 200,000.
Gosh damn.
That's, and civilians too. You got to remember. Got to remember, Okinawa had its own population there, and they were caught in the caught in the crossfire. So just as we end this, because I know there's better things here to talk on, I just wanted to share just an encouragement here. I know that war's from a long time ago, but there are still some veterans around. I mean, go learn their stories. I had a neighbor growing up. I found out he was in the 101st Airborne. He fought in the Battle of Bulge. He still had his maps, and he came to speak at our school. I got him to come and speak, and he talked
awesome.
about fighting the Nazis and what it was like as a young man dropping in on D-Day, fighting his way, and wondering if he was going to live at all, ever return home and have kids and family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely
crazy.
good to
I
try
have-
and get their stories while you still can. I mean, there's a few people I've enjoyed just talking to. One of them, growing up in my neighborhood, Brother Beckstrand, he died at 103 years old.
Wow.
In the year 2003 was when he passed away. So he was born in 1900. He was born in one of the Mormon colonies in Mexico.
Oh, that's cool. That's
so
cool.
he primarily spoke Spanish, and then English was kind of a second language to him, but he still spoke English amazingly. Came to the United States, went to college, ended up being college roommates and best friends with Charles Lindbergh, the first guy to fly across the Atlantic Ocean in a single flight.
That's cool.
They joined the Air Force together. And so it's kind of funny. I got to see a picture of Charles Lindbergh's unit, but Charles Lindbergh's not in the photo because he was away prepping for his flight.
He was like, I'm going to go fly across the world.
So it's
here.
like there's all these guys there, and then one of them's missing because he's going to prep for this historic flight. And then there's another lady in the ward I grew up in. She was 8 years old when she remembers her dad rushing her down into their bomb shelter as American pilots were flying over dropping bombs in her home city of Berlin.
Dang, dude, that's...
And she's a member of the LDS Church, and then she immigrated here after the war with her family and married an American. The absolute proud American is absolutely just terrified to see what's been happening in this country.
I know, and that's why I encourage people to read books like, with the old breed. You have A Helmet for My Pillow. You have The Ghosts of the Ghost Trail. I think I there's so many books. Is these our grandparents fought to keep fascism and communism at bay. They willingly
Sacrifice
themselves for us. And I mean, we're what, the third generation now from them? Or is it the second generation? Because my grandpa...
Great grandpa for me, so I'm 4.
Okay, so great grandpa. I know my grandpa, I believe, was in World War II.
My grandpa was too.
And so, see, it just depends. I mean, that you realize how close that is. That's not that... I mean, what is it? It was 80... How many years?
Oh, it's just about 80 years ago. It's right around there.
Yeah. That's not that long
see.
ago.
War ended 80 years ago. It ended in 1945.
Yeah, so it's like
So
everyone, the youngest guys who were serving are the guys who are still alive. And they're not much longer for this world because they're getting up there
We
in
just
age
missed
now.
the 80th anniversary of Hiroshima.
Yeah.
On
Oh
August
yeah,
6th.
yeah. I did see that on the news. Is my main reason why I wanted to talk about this is just they fought and died, and it's our responsibility as the rising generation, the generation that is taking over and filling political offices and changing the laws and moving progressively forward. It's our responsibility to carry their hopes and dreams forward, because they fought and died. I mean, liberating people that they didn't know from Adam. I mean, they stormed a beach for people that they didn't even know, but they knew what they were doing was right. They were fighting against the Nazis. They were fighting against all the horrible things that they did. And what?
It's just funny because that just storming beaches just reminded me of my grandpa, because he served in the Army, but his first area he served in was the Pacific, which is backwards for most guys. Most go from the Pacific to Europe.
You mean from Europe
to the Pacific? Sorry, but he started in the Army in the Pacific. They were up in Alaska, just basically there to keep Alaska safe for the most part.
Just chilling up there in the cold with the caribou?
And then they got the orders to go ahead and storm the beaches of some of the Aleutian Islands the Japanese took over. So they go and they prepare for battle. They storm the beaches only to find out the Japanese already abandoned the island. They're like, it's not worth it.
Probably too cold. They got there and
either too cold, or they just decided it wasn't really worth it. So they stormed an empty island pretty much to discover the Japanese just decided it wasn't worth it and focused further south.
Man.
And then he went to Europe
afterwards, and
later on. It was before the war with Japan was over, at least. What happened was they had him retrain for infantry, and then they sent him to Europe because they were inexperienced soldiers. They didn't have any combat experience. Sent them to Europe to fulfill all the security positions. Like my grandpa just helped provide security along the railways to make sure the railways were secure, safe, in good order and whatnot. While the soldiers who were there and experienced were sent to the front lines because they were about to cross the Rhine.
Gotcha. So just
they're about to cross the Rhine, enter into the original boundaries of Germany, and they're like, well, we expect more resistance from the Germans, so we want more soldiers, but we want experienced guys, so let's get the inexperienced guys here to do security while they go do the fighting.
They go do all the stuff they're good at. My wife's grandpa, he stormed the beaches of... she told me the beach. I was just talking... He stormed and got hit by a grenade. His from what I remember them telling me, is he passed away in 2008. But when he was going, a grenade was thrown, and all his comrades jumped away, and he jumped towards the grenade, and it took out his buddies, and it only put shrapnel in his leg, and it saved his life because he jumped towards it. Because, it mushrooms up when they explode. And he got lucky, and they said, oh, you're not going to be able to walk, you're not going to be able to use your... And his other friends, they took him into France and everything, and they have a Magdalene, I think it is, a Magdalene from France he brought home. He forced hit his right hand, I believe. He forced his fingers every night in the hospital and regained control of his motions because he forced himself to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But let's hop into some more recent news and see what's going on. We've had a lot going on lately. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. So, yeah. Oh, did he log off?
Sorry, my ISO is all over the place, so I'm trying to figure that out for you, so it doesn't destroy
we still got your audio. We
still got your audio. All right.
I was letting you go on a rant, man. I wasn't going to interrupt that.
Oh, John's good at those, and sometimes you just gotta let him flow.
Hey, I get tired of politics. I love politics. I'm running for Salem Council. Now you guys know where I live. Don't go try to find my home. I will not appreciate that.
So
I just don't like talking about them all the time, though. Politics. It gives me a headache, and it's so depressing. And I mean, it spews so much hatred, and so that's why I just wanted to balance out tonight before we dive into some breaking news and some.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Well, let's get into some news. You know those...
What were you saying, Logan?
Yeah, go ahead,
Logan. Oh, you're not here. John. I'm pointing at the camera. I'm pointing at the camera here like, hey, it's your turn, bro.
Well,
you're good. So when we went out to Camas on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Take a guess on how many hours of footage we got.
For your YouTube channel, I'd say about
Yes.
8.
Not quite that much, but for everything that we had filmed, we got about 3 hours worth of video, and most of that
Wow.
was just rants going on between you and I.
Hopefully you have the Barbie girl song.
You mean mostly
We-
just John going on rants and you listening and saying yes, yes.
Wow.
Pretty much. I was able to trim
Wow.
it. We was able to trim it down to about 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Hey, that's pretty
I don't
good.
talk that much.
Well, it's funny because I think I talk a lot, and then I talk to you, and it's like, oh
Wow.
god, I'm kidding.
Being a butt.
Kidding.
If
All right. So those.
if
people,
I can self promote for a second,
Yeah, promote it. Shameless plug, man.
Just do it.
shameless plug here. So, I am I've started up a YouTube channel. It is called Beard, Brass, and Blood. I kind of dedicate my time towards the hunt, bringing the family on the hunt, and what to prepare for, and kind of my experiences on there. So, I will bring you guys along for our elk and deer hunt this year. I've got John with me on both of those. We'll see how good we really are. We think we're awesome, but we've only had 2 years to prove it, so we will
You
use
know what?
this as our third year to prove it.
We're awesome in our own heads, and that's what matters, okay?
Yeah.
So
Sweet. Good
go give it a
plug.
look, see if it's up to par for all your viewers, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and that's Beard, Brass, and Blood.
Yeah, maybe we'll do we'll do a hashtag underneath the video here for YouTube. We got you, Logan.
Yeah, we
I
can
like
add
it.
that
It's
in.
a happier topic than politics, people.
Well,
we can
got
stay
at
off, we can
least,
stay off politics if we really want to.
No, we have a lot of good things to talk about here
especially
tonight.
some good ironic stuff. So, those people who are always saying to us maggots, or well, we prefer the hard R, maggers, but
Good.
they're always referring to us as being an occult. Well, apparently, here's this headline from
Oh, the Tylenol.
Gateway Pundit. Pregnant liberal woman suffers fatal Tylenol overdose after trying to, quote, prove Trump wrong. I don't want to laugh at this because this woman.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
laughing.
That's horrible.
You're not going to stop me. I'm laughing.
It's horrible. It's a human life, okay?
She is a person. It is tragic. Any loss of human life is
I
tragic.
thought it says she's fighting for her.
Yeah, she's
life.
fighting for her
I-
life, so she's not dead yet, and hopefully she's able to pull through it by some miracle. But the thing is,
I'm
though,
not trying to be a heartless person.
being that
but I
she,
will s-
this is the thing I think my wife had pointed out to me though too. She purposely chose to take this dose of Tylenol, which could be considered a form of self-deletion, as we all
How
know.
much did she take?
Enough to almost be fatal, and this could also prevent her from getting a liver transplant because it's killing her liver.
Well, so if you take so
ahead
she
and
took
read through
the extra strength Tylenol, which is 500 milligrams. And if I remember, I looked up my body weight. I'm only allowed to take like half a dose of that.
Oh gosh.
That's how bad
I'm
Tylenol
currently
is for
looking-
you.
I'm looking up the fatal dose of Tylenol here.
And I'll admit, I took 8 the other day,
Look, if you're
and
gonna
it's
take-
really bad
if you're
for
gonna
you.
take any medication, no matter what, first, I mean, even if it's over the counter, you should always, at least, if you're going to either read the directions and follow the proper protocols, or as you always should do, go to a doctor, talk to them first, understand what the risks are, and also have them tell you what they would say the proper dosage for you is. Never just go and try to prove someone you hate wrong.
Here's the thing.
with
Trump didn't
overdose.
even say it. It's a study from Harvard and all these other schools that these liberals love.
These
But the fact that
bastions of
Trump
liberalism.
says and RFK,
Mm-hmm.
okay, say, hey, it's bad. Like,
Well, the thing is, they didn't even say it's bad. There are doctors that will prescribe you Tylenol while you're pregnant to take care of certain things. Normally, they'll probably do a smaller dose. But even Tylenol says don't take it when you're pregnant, and it's just Tylenol says don't take it when you're pregnant. And you know what's really funny about this whole thing, though? What they said that the Tylenol is a contributing factor to autism and ADHD. When you read into the details on the study, what's the reason why it contributes to autism and ADHD? It prevents your liver and your organs from filtering out the heavy metals. Where are these heavy metals coming from? The jabs. A lot of it comes from the jabs.
True.
So it's like it's a combination of the two things together that then causes these problems. And so it's like, so just don't take one but not the other at the same time. Which is another important thing to remember with medication. Not all medications you can take together. You gotta follow doctor's directions.
Exactly. So I've got the common dosage here.
Okay, what's the common dosage?
Extra strength is in the 500 milligram format, right?
Yes.
500 milligram Tylenols. I know people can get up to 800s, but those are prescribed.
Yes.
It says here in big bold letters, adults should not take more than 3,000 milligrams of single ingredient. I'm just going to call that acetylene because I cannot pronounce that word to save my life.
Yeah.
So 3,000 milligrams.
3,000.
What time period?
3 grams. So you're looking at six of those extra.
Yeah, for how long? Are you talking
what's
8
the time
hours? A day?
That's in a 24-hour period. So a day.
Man, you would have to. I mean, I took 8 200 milligrams the other day.
To be fair, she could have done the maximum dose at one time. Is very different than taking the maximum dose spread throughout the day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She could have just thought she'd be fine taking the maximum
7,000 milligrams. 7,000 milligrams or more can lead to severe overdose problems.
So that she had to take. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Gosh.
I mean, I took 8 200 milligram pills the other day when we went to go hike, just because of my back, and I mean that's only 1,006 milligrams.
Symptoms may include abdominal pain, appetite loss, coma, seizures, diarrhea, irritability, jaundice, nausea, sweating. Symptoms may not occur until 12 or more hours after the Tylenol was swallowed.
And then you can't even tell if you're sick or not.
Yeah. No, my wife did mention, though, too, that apparently dying this way is actually extremely painful. And then on top of that, it's
your
Tylenol apparently is very common for overdoses because people don't. I think a lot of it's because people don't realize that when you take too much, it is dangerous.
Well, it's shutting down your liver.
Yeah.
Your liver can't process it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your liver, right? Not your kidneys?
It's your liver. It's shutting down your liver.
It's everything. Livers, kidneys, everything.
Yeah.
This is actually why I don't...
Your livers and kidneys are kind of your lifeline. That's kind of... Well, it's your first aid kit in your immune system, right?
Yeah.
Your liver is what filters out, like, normally alcohol if you're an alcoholic. Your liver is what filters that out. Then your kidneys filters out everything else. So
it filters out heavy metals. Your
stuff.
Your liver also will filter out viruses and whatnot, so dead virus cells or even sometimes living virus cells. Like
exactly.
It does
so
a lot.
If you overdose on this, your body goes into full shutdown. Like, your filters aren't in place. I mean, think about running your truck without an oil filter. Just put a plug in it. Like, you're going to destroy your motor.
Ugh.
No, thank you. That's actually why I like...
That's freaking terrible.
I actually avoid taking pills if I can.
Hopefully the doctors can get it figured out and she can survive. But
when you read the article, it says she's most likely not going to survive and her baby's not going to live either.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but imagine hating somebody so much.
I'm going to defend myself here for a second. The reason I laugh is because of a conversation I had earlier today about this very subject.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
My coworker and I were just laughing about, like, people are so stupid. They're going to take Trump's words of, like, Tylenol produces autism. Like, that's going to be the big signs and big posters everywhere.
And that's not even what he said. They said it's a contributing factor, not a cause.
Exactly. But you're going to have these people be like, Tylenol produces autism. Brr, durka, 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 dur. And
No,
it's
that's
like,
those are the Muslim terrorists that do the durka.
people are gonna start taking Tylenol just in spite, and we're like, you know what? The world lives on spite.
You know what we need to do? Say communism is good, and then people will hate communism. All we need is Trump to come out and say that. Problem solved, because they hate him so much. To be like, no, he lost communism. We're not going to do communism anymore.
Well, I mean, the problem
This
could be
is-
solved faster if Trump just came out and said oxygen is good for you.
Big sign right here that says "joke."
Oh my gosh,
Uh,
guys,
Trump
that's
came out.
a little too far. Okay.
But the thing is, though, is it not true? Look what just happened. Look what just happened. How could we actually honestly say that they wouldn't try to hold their breath until they pass out?
Well,
I mean,
so-
that sounds like an idiotic idea, but that's effectively what this poor lady did. Is she held her
know
breath
who,
and found out?
Do you know who Nick Freitas is on YouTube?
No.
The Virginia House of Delegates person. He's kind of the guy that's now replacing Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
Um,
No
he-
such thing, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know
It's
what you
like,
mean.
That's kind of the new male role model.
Mm-hmm.
He had the joke today of like, man, Trump said Tylenol produces abortion. Or, sorry, Tylenol produces autism. We just need Trump to come out in favor of abortion and imagine how many lives we'll save.
Sadly, I mean, that might actually be the case. Ironically, him supporting abortion would probably end up ending it.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Anyways, something's on your mind, John. Let's hear it.
No, I'm just reading this other topic that we have up here of local news. This is woman who left her freaking 9-year-old
Oh,
in a trailer for
Yeah.
weeks because she was on drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
that's sick.
leaving as a dad, I could never imagine abandoning my children.
How old was the kid? 9?
9 years old.
Yeah, 9 years old, basically abandoned for weeks. in a trailer.
Down out by Grantsville Reservoir, which I don't know which part of the state
Where?
that's in. I've never
Where
heard
is
of
that?
Grantsville Reservoir.
I
That's-
know.
Grantsville is
where
out by Tooele.
yeah.
I know where Grantsville is. It's a small one of the smaller reservoirs in Utah.
Oh yeah, right up there. Right. Okay. So a little bit outside Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That makes
Well,
sense.
Salt Lake County, but yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The
It's.
outskirts.
I mean, it's Salt Lake County, so.
Oh, you're not too far away from the Salt Flats. All right.
Yep. Out there.
Just a little further north than Tooele.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just messed up.
the
I don't-
mountain we have to go
I don't know
around
northern
to get
Utah
to
that
go
well.
around the north side of it, and you get to Grantsville.
Yeah, I don't know Tooele, or I don't know northern Utah that well. My knowledge stops about Lehigh.
Yeah, you're
Well,
the southern half of Utah.
well,
I'm
anything
Central
past
South.
the point of the mountain, then you skip
Doesn't
that
exist.
whole valley, and then everything after Salt Lake exists. We just ignore Salt Lake City.
Yeah, we basically ignore Salt Lake City,
So-
and then there's this little like black hole on the map. Some people call it Park City. I don't know why.
Hey, we got to go near Park City to go to our hunting area. Dang it!
Oh gosh, you poor guys. You'll probably get a few people tagging along trying to scare the elk away from you. All those dang hippies over there.
Nah, we hike in. It's too hard for them. They're gonna stay on their
Oh,
Yeah,
side.
they
yeah,
can't.
sorry,
They,
they don't
don't.
like
They
work.
don't get their. Yeah, they don't get their kombucha and.
They don't
and their,
like
their
blue collar
tea
work.
and-
They're allergic to
There's
it.
no Starbucks out there.
Yeah, there's no Starbucks for them to get.
There's no
so.
Starbucks within 5 minutes.
Exactly.
I mean, let's see. In order, the nearest Starbucks hiking would be way too far. And first of all, just make your own darn coffee if you're gonna drink it. Save yourself some money.
Yeah. There is another article here
Which one?
where it's the Trump signed an executive order listing Antifa as a domestic terrorist
It's
organization.
phenomenal.
Finally,
About
So
time.
here's the
we're
kicker,
5
though.
years late, but finally.
I know, right? So here's the kicker, though. As a domestic terrorist organization, basically, there's nothing that really changes. The only difference, though, is anytime an activity is done by them, it could be labeled as a terrorist attack.
Which is
And that's,
good.
it's good, but that's about it. They don't gain any other resources or access.
Yeah,
to
no,
any
but
other
doesn't that help them arrest them and actually be able to go in and use
It puts
force?
domestic
Not
terrorist
that
charge
much.
on them.
It actually doesn't change much at all. It only just changes the nature of the way they prosecute it. But Tim Pool was talking about this, and he actually thinks that this is a soft tap he's doing. So it's just a soft tap onto Antifa before he does the hard tap. He thinks in a few weeks he may end up actually listing them as a foreign terrorist organization.
How?
Testing the waters, trying to see.
Yeah,
what
this
it
he
looks
thinks
like.
this is Trump testing the waters and also softening the blow, because it's like if he just immediately called him a foreign terrorist organization, you know they try to fight it in court.
Did you see that people are saying that it's affecting free speech?
Oh, so yeah, whatever.
Here's that is not a form of free speech to go and break and burn things.
Yeah.
And
But
I was just gonna say, in the First Amendment, we have a right to like gather and to protest, but Antifa
Peacefully,
goes straight
though.
to the riot.
our founding fathers, when they wrote that, intended it to be peaceful and only get violent when our liberties were
now
in jeopardy.
there is something that does change though, because they're a terrorist organization. Anybody funneling money to people involved in Antifa groups, like donating money, that could cause it to stop. Because now that it's listed as a terrorist organization, you could be viewed as being giving money to a terrorist organization.
So like a
So you're looking at federal charges for funding
Like
for funding
assistance.
terrorist organizations. But but that's the thing though too, depending on how it happens, you could be looking at RICO charges in the future for like George Soros and stuff.
good because
And others.
Yeah, they're
But
trying
the
to
big-
bury him.
Yeah, well, the big one is if he does up it to an international or foreign terrorist organization, because then he actually gets federal assets that he can use on the international scale. He can start
Well, isn't
using
right
intelligence
where it's
assets,
domestic
he
right
can
now?
start
Don't they get
using-
state access?
What?
Where it's like a soft thing. Don't they have state access?
I don't know. Most likely, but there's still the
It
thing
would-
is
it would
though,
make-
is even then they're still limited on actual application, because in most cases the feds require assistance from local law enforcement to execute anything.
I was gonna
So-
say, with them being a domestic terrorist organization now, it would make sense that the state would have more power to go after that.
Yeah,
Instead
I
of using
mean,
federal
yeah, the
resources
state,
as of
yeah,
right
maybe
now.
on the state side, the state that will give at least states like Utah, Wyoming, other conservative states a lot more power to actually to counter any Antifa actions or groups or movements or whatnot. But federally, it won't do much for him, at least. I don't know if
Not
it
right
does
now.
anything for the state side, but right now it doesn't do much for him, at least. But if he does change it or up it to an international or foreign terrorist organization, which they are international, so he could list it as a foreign, because there are Antifa groups all over Europe and the United States.
I was just gonna say, I think the next biggest organization, or the next big group of Antifa is in England, is it not? Great Britain?
Maybe.
I mean their whole continent right now. I can't keep up with what's happening because it's in such an
Oh,
uproar.
Europe's screwed.
And to be fair, we did fight an entire war to not have to give a crap about the Europe.
Which
And then
one?
we still went over there twice.
Hey, I mean they did. Okay, we gotta help out the French. Okay, they did help us in the revolution. Okay?
That
Can we
justified
take
the
a
first
second?
time.
Like, the French were awesome for a long time. They gave
Hey,
up
you
one
know
time.
what? If World War III starts, though, there is some good news.
Germany didn't start it this time.
Germany didn't start it this time. The Germans
Germany's-
can at least lay claim to that they did not start the Third World War. But who knows? You know,
Hey, Germany
you
is
know.
rearming at the moment.
To be fair, they
Yes, but
might-
they're rearming against the Russians.
well, they did last time too.
True. So maybe it's just a guys.
So don't be hasty. I was gonna say, let's not be too fast. I mean, they might just decide to start World War III just out of tradition. It's our national
Fool me
tradition.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times.
Well,
I
now we
don't
got a problem.
We're too old for that. Okay. Man, this world's just ridiculous. I mean, you see what's going on. You posted here for California's
Oh yeah, my wife added that
SB. I was just reading that
one. SB 771.
Yeah, what is that
it's
bill?
a
I saw that
censorship
come in.
disguised as civil rights. I don't quite understand it, but it's a way of censoring, forcing platforms to censor you if they don't like what you're saying,
Well,
because it's hate speech.
to be fair, California, they have a long and storied tradition of framing things as good and then doing bad. So, if they're saying this is a civil rights law, chances are it's going to be one that infringes on your civil rights.
Which, I mean, I'm sorry to say, I mean, as you hear on this podcast, we just say what we think, and you know what? Excuse me, it's our First Amendment right to say so. I mean, of course, be respectful of persons, you know what I mean, and religious beliefs and stuff like that, but it's my right to insult Kyle and call him a butt face if I want to call him a butt face.
I get called
okay?
way worse at work.
I know, we both do. I mean, do you know what's more insulting, though? Is when my kids say to my face that I'm a poopy head. That's more insulting to me than being called blank words.
Oh, so that article Dallin shared, I'm just looking at it now. I'll go ahead and read it. It's from the Blaze Media, so let's give them credit since I'm reading straight from it.
Oh, the
The FBI has acknowledged it had 275 plainclothes agents in the massive crowds on January 6th of 2021. More than 4.5 years after questions were first raised about the level of FBI involvement that day, Blaze News has learned. A senior congressional source said the number is not necessarily a surprise since the FBI often embeds counter-surveillance personnel at large events. Yeah, they always do that. Large events.
they
in
do,
DC,
but they also
always embed
initiated
people.
it.
Yeah.
They initiated
Well,
this
is that what this article says? But given the FBI's until now steadfast refusal to disclose the level of the presence at the Capitol, the figure might still be viewed with skepticism in some quarters. Here's the thing about January 6th, okay? My dad, even, actually was very in line or in
They
step.
lied about it.
Well, he was very in step with the idea that Trump instigated it for some time until I basically went on a rant about something because the timelines don't even make sense. Like the first, from the beginning, the rioters there breached the Capitol while Trump was still speaking at his rally on the National Mall. So he was still speaking. He didn't send his people to Capitol Hill then break into the Capitol like the narrative started. He was still speaking while the Capitol was proactively being breached at that moment. He didn't send anyone there. And then he goes and immediately calls for people to be peaceful and go home.
Chill out.
So it's just, I had to really get into that with my dad in more detail because the problem, though, too, is you look at the media, most of the media, they're just happy to go along with any narrative that leftists, mostly in the media or in government, want you to go with. They set this narrative, and that's the narrative that's got to be followed. And I'm not surprised. I mean, what's the name of that guy? Sorry, with
Which
an
one?
R, his name, the guy who was calling for people to go into the Capitol and breach the Capitol, and he still hasn't been arrested.
Buffalo Head?
No, Buffalo Head was just there having fun. He was an idiot, but
Which one? The
Yes.
guy from Utah?
no, he was, I can't remember his name.
No,
That-
he was just arrested for child pornography.
No, that's a different guy, though. But yeah, that guy who...
It wouldn't surprise me if it was the same one.
I don't think it's the same guy because it's not the same name. I don't remember it being the same name. But he was there telling people to go into the Capitol building.
Really?
Yeah, and he wasn't arrested at all. But then they go and they raid a woman's house in Alaska and arrest her only to find out she was never even in D.C. at the time. They mistook her for another person because they did look similar.
Do you know
in
what?
a photo.
That's actually like terrifying to think about today.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if the FBI just really freaking wanted to? Okay, I'm not saying the whole FBI, because the FBI has also done a lot of good
Yeah.
for this country, but there are bad parts of the FBI that the people do not like this country.
Oh, they've got dirt on everyone.
Uh-huh.
If they wanted to, they could come and get any one of us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The fact that I could be sleeping tonight, my door could be kicked in by federal agents, and that if I defend my home, I go to federal prison. You know what I mean? It's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
It's freaky, the fact that
Like,
just for being
On a
alive.
I keep
on a
wanting to look
constitutional
over it. That's
basis,
where his
country's
voice
gone
I know.
backwards.
I keep looking at the camera because I keep hearing his voice, and I'm like trying so hard to stare at you and just listen.
Your voice is coming in the direction of the camera that's on John. So I
Oh,
keep
is it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I keep looking in that direction for your voice every
Maybe
time.
we need to get like a
like a freaking
a
idiot.
screen with him like popped up here so we can look at the screen.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you guys, which is nice. It's like 20 seconds delayed, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's weird. Because I'm just staring at his ugly mutt right here, and he's staring at my ugly mutt, and there's
Yeah, I
a
know.
voice speaking from the heavens. And
I've got a face for radio and a voice for photography.
But, dude, just back to the FBI. Like,
They've done a lot of good in the past, but then there have been serious missteps on their part, though, too. And so it's
I
like,
mean,
what do
we
you
don't
do?
even want to
Watch-
mention Ruby Ridge and Waco. Okay?
Well, to be
Like-
fair,
ATF,
those
but
were
yes.
those were technically the ATF. However,
the
the
gay people.
FBI on
Just
at least on
one
Ruby
site.
Ridge, I can't remember if it was Ruby Ridge or Waco, where the FBI initially was on it, but then it was handed over to the ATF. I can't remember, one of them was that, but I know they were both the ATF.
You ready for
They
this?
both. There was
no,
the
I think-
FBI agents on both.
Yeah, the
Yeah, they had
sniper
FBI.
was the same sniper who killed the frickin' his.
Son and dog.
Yep, was at Waco, and he frickin'
Oh, yeah.
earned a reward, and they frickin' killed kids. And we're like,
Yeah.
hey, this is great.
No,
Dude,
that's
I just
that-
listened
that
to a
is
huge
something that
podcast
pisses me
about
off.
it.
Like,
Okay,
he was following orders, and so to a degree, he shouldn't have been held responsible for it. His superior should have been, because his superior gave the order.
Nobody's
but at the same
answered
time,
for
though,
it.
too, there was another sniper there at Ruby Ridge that had the shot to take him out, Randy Weaver, and chose not to because it didn't feel right.
well,
As
yeah,
he
because
said.
Randy Weaver wasn't doing anything wrong.
I know. But I mean, praise to Randy Weaver, the guy who actually deleted a couple federal agents and got away with it. I mean,
As messed up as
because
that
he-
is they huge breach
It was-
of the Constitution.
it was a major breach, and the
Well,
thing that's
the
absolutely
ATF, the
ridiculous is he still
FBI, the
got
CIA, everything is against the Constitution if he was to read it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the thing is too is like he still got charged with a crime. You know what the crime was?
What?
Not showing up.
Oh yeah, not showing
To
up
the
for
original
court.
Well, to the original,
Yeah.
well, not to the original court date, but to the second court date. Because what happened, and this is partly why this whole thing unfolded, is he had a letter for what court date he was supposed to go to court, and then
Did they change the money?
changed the date to a sooner date.
And didn't tell him.
And
I forget exactly how it
They
went.
sent him the letter, but he didn't have any copy or any letter at all.
Yeah, this was before the time of email, so they can always say that.
So it's like, if anyone should be getting the pardon, it should be Randy Weaver for the crime of not showing up to court, because he should be getting a pardon for that. And personally, I do think they should erect a statue of him outside the ATF headquarters, facing the ATF headquarters, while holding the same rifle that he had at the time. Just to continually remind everyone in the federal agencies, like, hey, you obey the Constitution.
They obey the Constitution, and that's what's scary in this day and age is as you look at the FBI on January 6th, their involvement with that. Okay, we still stuff is coming out, but by the looks
Have
of
you-
it,
Have you
And
seen
as
the
we said
pictures
earlier,
that
it's
came
like I
out
joked.
of those who were at January 6th?
no. Which pictures are you talking about?
there's just like pictures of the crowd. It's like somebody just taking pictures in the middle of the crowd, just snapping pictures of everyone there.
Yeah.
The majority of the people, so if somebody took a picture of like 10 people, 8 of them have vests on, cargo shorts, what looks like a banana in their pocket, probably a Glock, and it's like,
I know what
they're
you're talking
FBI
about.
guys.
Dude, that's like totally
I
the
know what you're
FBI
talking
look,
about,
man.
dude. Well, it's not even the FBI look. You always know when it's the feds because what happens
Exactly.
is you look and they're all wearing like the same thing.
It's almost like they all shop at the same department store that's like Fed R Us.
That are us.
Well, you
You know,
saw
that's
like
a good branding. We'll take that and put that on our shop when we have a shop one day.
you
It's your guys' podcast. You have the IP for it, so
well you saw that like a couple weeks after January 6th, they arrested some like sheriffs or whatever, arrested a box truck with federal officers with no badges.
Oh,
They like pull them over for a traffic infraction. And they're like, wait a minute, we hear something inside and go and open it up, and it's full of freaking guys masked up with freaking guns headed to an event, and they were like, what the fuck are you doing? And of course it's the feds, and the feds are like, no, it wasn't us. We don't know what they were
I can't
doing.
remember if it was a state agency and a Fed agency, or if it was two Fed agencies.
Do you
But
remember
there's
the
two-
story I'm
wanna say
talking
it was
about?
Feds.
I know there was another story where there's two Fed agencies that both ran a sting operation on each other.
Yeah. There's so many stories.
Great,
That was-
wonderful tax
that one was
dollars at
Fed
work
and
right
state. That one was Fed and state, if I remember right. The state
there.
Yeah,
guys.
it's funny that would be.
The irony is, they weren't wrong. They're both criminals anyway.
I mean,
Do you want to buy some drugs? Yeah, do you want to buy some drugs? Hey, you're under arrest. Ah, shit.
Oh, you're under arrest.
yeah.
The Spider-Man meme. No,
Yes,
you're under
Yes,
arrest.
the straight up Spider-Man meme right there. No, it's honestly it's terrifying because I'll even take into account the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. Okay, he's a suspect. Okay. Yes.
I'm pretty sure there's a conspiracy to it. Like, there's got to be more than just him.
Oh yes, for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah,
what
no,
I'm
there's
going
more-
into about
there's
this.
more people involved, but
What I'm going
he's the
into
primary
this is
suspect.
okay. He's a suspect. Okay. Whatever happened to in this country, innocent until proven guilty. Okay.
Social media.
He's in
True.
the court system already.
Everyone's able to make an opinion off nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's like the scary thing. Okay? Because not defending him at all. If he did it, screw him. Okay? He needs to burn in a very special place. I'm still working on forgiveness, okay?
But here's the thing, though. If by chance, if it wasn't him,
We're
what's
crucifying
now,
the wrong
what's
person.
now happened to his good name online? That was one of our founding fathers' fundamental principles, that everyone has a right to their good name.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our libel and slander laws come from, is you having a right to your good name.
Yeah, what happens if he's innocent?
Can you imagine the defamation case if he's proven not guilty?
Whew, yeah, I know, right?
Well, okay, I heard.
Probably
I
against the
like-
government for the most part. A lot of the TV
Oh, it's everyone.
stations,
All
well,
the media channels,
To
the
be-
president, everyone.
Well, the media channels and whatnot probably would be able to get away with it because they were only operating off the information that was released from the government. But if he is proven innocent, you could say that the government would be guilty of slander or libel. But at the same time, like the prosecutor, the DA, the judge, a lot of these people would be immune from it anyways because they're already
I was just
immune
going to say,
from
they have an
what's said in
immunity
the courtroom.
clause just because they're doing their job.
Yeah.
But dude, like the fact that anything you do,
Did you see he
You're
got a
guilty.
public defendant?
he did.
Yeah.
He was assigned one,
Oh.
and they've set $1 million aside.
Yeah, he was assigned public defender. I can't remember the guy's name, but I do remember.
Is he from Utah?
He's from Utah.
It's a chick. It's
But-
a chick that's
well,
that's
it's a
public
chick,
defender.
but it's from a specific public defender's office, and it's a very well-known defense team. I don't know much about criminal law in Utah, at least, but I do know what I was reading on it. It seemed like this was a very well established and reputable defense attorney.
Well, that's good, because I've been, as bad as it sounds, even though they're pretty sure he did it, he needs to have a fair trial here.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's the thing, is a lot of people here in Utah are pretty pissed off. I mean, a great man was shot in our backyard.
But,
I hope she's super good at her job, because he does deserve a fair trial.
yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be I guess I'll be the first one to say string him up by his junk if he is guilty, but like,
If he's not, he's not. Like, if there's evidence,
not-
which I
if he's
actually...
not guilty, he's not guilty.
Did you read
Like-
the news article today, which actually is making me have second thoughts about this?
What?
They said, okay, Logan, you would get this, Kyle, you would get this. We're all shooters here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They said he
Are
took
you gonna
apart...
Are you
they-
gonna say that the bullet stopped in his neck?
No. Ready for this? They say the reason why you don't see him walking around with the rifle is he took it apart. Okay? He took it apart, took the optic off, took the barrel apart, carried it up to the roof, reassembled it, put the optic back on, took the shot, disassembled it, left the screwdriver, jumped off the roof, and reassembled it into the woods and put an empty casing in.
So,
They said
I can
how
tell you.
he got. My thing
I
is,
can tell you right now, half of that's bullcrap.
Well,
The first
It
half.
is.
Here's
The Mosin
my-
98 is not an easy gun to disassemble.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though.
Exactly.
The first half, I would say it's possible, where he had disassembled. Because I have had weapons I've disassembled, reassembled, and shot, and it's been fairly close to my zero. Not
So-
perfect, but it's close. But here's the thing, though. Him disassembling it prior, bringing it in disassembled, and then assembling it, I believe that is possible. I don't believe it did happen necessarily, but I do believe that part's possible. But disassembling it to then put it in a backpack, take it out, and then reassemble it and throw it into the bushes doesn't make sense, because I saw the video footage where he hopped off the roof and he was carrying
I was
something in his
just
hand.
gonna say.
He was carrying something in his hand, and there was a part of it that was dangling. So it looked, you could say that is what a rifle would look like when it was wrapped in a towel, which is how they found it in the wooded area that they talked about.
They just put it back in the box for the picture.
And here's my thing is,
So-
if you were going to get away with the crime, why do you leave the rifle so damn close?
Because when you're carrying a weapon or something long like that just after a shooting happened, it's very conspicuous.
Yes, I know,
So
but
exactly.
do
He
you realize
tried
how
to-
close it was?
Yeah. No, I know. I used to go to that campus.
Ridiculously.
Christy and I used to go to that campus, so we know like how close he is to that area, which is why it was so stupid for him
But
to
what
ditch
I
it so early.
bring, but what I bring up is, like, yes, you can shoot a gun once it's been disassembled and put it on, but okay, I'll tell you, like, last year hunting, I dropped my rifle, knocked the optic off. Okay,
Yep. That was
It-
funny.
well, it was funny, but you see it when we go to sight it in this year, how off it was. You know,
No, that's just been over time. The scope settled because I put that scope
Just-
back on the day
but I'm
it
just
fell
saying,
off.
like,
Just be
And
honest,
re-zeroed
Logan,
it.
you think it's user error.
no, but
I know
do
what
you
you
see
mean.
the point? Is just you disassemble it, you get up, you
Can I get into
reassemble
my-
it.
Well, that's the
I
difference,
get it?
though, is between disassembling it and also dropping it. Dropping it, you can actually shift your zero.
Yeah, I know, but it
versus
just it brings up.
disassembling it.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I know,
okay?
I know.
Is just
So, can I get
Well-
into my guntism here for a
Do
second?
it, do it,
go
do
ahead.
it. Let's hear it.
So the Mauser 96 or 98, I can't remember what model it was. It's a German-based rifle. It's a German-made rifle based off the Winchester 70 rifle. Right.
Okay.
Winchester 70 is a bolt-action rifle, pretty standard sniper rifle in the Vietnam War. I mean, that's what Carlos Hathcock had when he shot
Oh,
through the
okay,
scope of the Vietnamese guy.
I know what rifle that is. Yeah.
Pretty common hunting rifle back in the 70s, 80s, 90s before we start getting all these modern day cartridges. So, in order to take that stock off, John, you have your Mosin. It's pretty similar to that. It's a bolt. It's two bolts to
My
take it
wife
out.
has a Mosin as well.
So you guys know how hard easy, whatever you want to call it, it is to take that stock off your Mosins.
Well, if it's in a modern stock, which I think the picture it shows it's in a semi-modern. I should say modern
it's
stock.
a-
Even if it's
stock,
in a
yes.
modern, even if it's a modern polymer stock, though, it's still going to end up disassembling and reassembling in relatively the same.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's in the modern stock. It's literally click, unscrew,
I
done.
was gonna. It's 2 or 3 screws. Yeah, I got 2 by the magazine well, and then 1 in the foregrip or in the pistol
Yeah.
grip.
And the one on the my Mosin's got one up.
So it would make
Below the
sense if
bolt
he had it
carrier.
taken up. It would make sense if he had it disassembled going into it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I was saying.
The stock, the receiver barrel, all in one, and then the scope. If it's on an MOA Picatinny rail, that makes sense because you can zero it out to the range, pull it off, and then put it in the same place that you zeroed it at.
True.
So that, in all that regards, having it disassembled and then bringing it in, assembling it on the rooftop, that makes sense. But from the timestamp of to where the bullet was, when shots were fired to him falling off the roof,
Not
there's
enough
not a
time.
chance in hell to get that gun disassembled in time.
There's only one guy who can do fancy, incredible stuff like that, and that's all. We know him as Lee Harvey Oswald, right?
Don't get me started.
Can we
Don't
also
even
take a
get me
second to
started
He
on
got
that,
it immediately,
dude.
not you.
No.
But
Can we also take a second to recognize that this is the first political assassination that we actually have a guy in custody longer than a week?
oh, true.
Which has got me another question. Typically, they kill them off. Typically, they
was
kill
just-
them off.
Here's the thing. If it,
Lincoln's
this is the-
Lincoln's assassin only lived for a week or so. John Wilkes Booth, right?
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was only alive for a week or so.
Well, I mean,
Who
Lee
was
Harvey
JFK's
Oswald
assassin?
himself got
Apparently,
assassinated too.
I know he got shot like 3 days after. We
Yeah.
don't have Martin Luther King's assassin, even though we know it's the CIA.
Yeah.
don't
I don't
even
know.
get me
it-
We
started
got
on
a
it.
50-50 shot between CIA or FBI. It's one of the two.
It's one of the.
We didn't have a suspect for Martin Luther.
Don't get me
Like-
even
Look, it's like
started
how
on Lee
like you
Harvey
can have
Oswald.
like Kyle Rittenhouse shoot two random people in Black Lives Matter riot, and it ends up being a pedophile and a frickin' wife beater. It's kind of like the
Exactly.
same thing with Martin Luther King. You can just take a random shot at who it is, and most likely it's a federal agency that did it.
Yeah. So it's
Don't get me
like,
started on
this
Lee
is the first
Harvey
time
Oswald.
ever in American history where we have a political assassin in prison,
Yeah.
like in jail for more than a week.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And so we know if it was an inside job by the government, then we'd already be dead then.
Exactly. And anyway,
Unless
back
they're
to
just
the-
using him as a ploy, and that.
Yeah.
it would not
The
surprise me if
government
he's a
gets
bail
bored of
guy.
its toys very fast, so they probably would have
It would-
gotten rid of him.
Like, yes, that gun that was received was his rifle. DNA analysis has shown that. It would not surprise me if he's the fall guy for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because I started going into this with Porter. John knows Porter. Kyle, I believe you know Porter as well.
Just go ahead. I probably met him, just don't remember his name.
Anyways, we started getting into this yesterday. Like, there's reports, and then the video evidence. I don't know how he's watched that video so much, but there's an entry wound, but there's no exit wound.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
depending
that
on
brought up
bullet.
the whole thing of like 30-06 is going to go straight through you no matter what. There's not a bullet on earth that will stop in an inch of flesh coming out of a 30-06. So either that was a shoddy reload, or that wasn't the gun that was fired.
Well,
No, there's ways that it
there's-
could. That
It is
could.
possible. It all depends. The thing is, do we have the coroner's official report?
No, we don't have
We
that
don't have
yet.
the
So
autopsy. So all this is stipulation at the moment.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's all speculation. Because the thing is, the bullet could have even been found in his gut.
yeah, it could have gone
It
down.
could have ricocheted off bone, and that's not unheard of even for big calibers.
Mm-hmm.
That's not unheard of, but the shot angle and everything just like
It's not as likely.
I don't.
You're right. It's
It
not as
didn't hit
likely.
the spine at all. It just went straight through flesh. It hit the artery and then came right back out.
Well, the thing is, though, that it didn't just hit the artery. It hit his spinal column. I can tell you that.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
From the angle of the shot, most likely.
I I have killed enough animals by snapping their neck to know when a spinal column injury has occurred, and I watched Charlie
That's
Kirk's
fair.
death, and I saw the exact same thing.
See, I'm
And
not
it
even
was-
gonna go
was
into
bad.
it. I ain't even
I'm
gonna
not
go
going to get into
it.
details, but I've seen what happens with spinal column deaths. Charlie was dead before he hit the ground. It was instant.
Yeah.
And
Can we
so
also
it
debunk
hit
the whole
bone,
thing if
because
he?
it did at least hit the neck. So that possible ricocheting off the bone and down into the body, it is a
But
possibility.
again, we didn't see a lot of video afterwards because people stopped recording and were running away.
That video got pulled off.
you
It
know
got
who
pulled off
Frank
X.
Turret is?
Who's that?
Frank Turret, he's got like 4 sons, I think, but he's close friends with Charlie. He was there with him, helping, trying to save his life, and he said that they got him into the car, and he said, like, he looks at it now, and he's like, he was dead before they even got him in the car. They were just carrying his body and trying to stop the bleeding. So when they said they got him stable, they stopped the bleeding, but they didn't realize he was already dead because it was most likely spinal injury.
Yeah.
Dude, we live in
Sorry to point this conversation in that direction.
You're fine.
No, you're good.
It's dark.
Well, I mean, we can always switch directions to Candace Owens. That was...
Dude, Kay, I can't even stand. I used to like that lady.
I did too,
Okay, listen.
and
I
then
was
she
gonna
fell
say,
off.
my wife-
I love
Okay,
Kay.
falling off the rails is not putting it in strongly enough to what happened to her.
Did
I
her
love a
child
good
take all of
conspiracy.
her intelligence with her?
Listen,
But
yeah.
I swear, after she gave birth, she just went off the deep end.
Dude,
swear
I
that
love a
child
good
took her
conspiracy.
intelligence.
You guys know me. I love a good conspiracy. I love it. But there comes a point that it's so deep that it's like, yeah, you're kind of cuckoo.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Candace Owens went on a little rant on her video.
How many videos now are we at?
I don't
many
know,
wins?
but this is a new Charlie Kirk conspiracy that I think she actually created herself.
Which one? Which one?
The honeybee one. The honeybee
I
one.
haven't heard the honeybee one,
Okay,
but
so
I
the
heard about
honeybee
the
one.
secret tunnels under UVU. That one cracks me up, which I actually slightly believe because Utah is known for its secret tunnel systems around the state dug by the Spaniards.
Well, Utah is known for some secret tunnels, and it's not uncommon. What do you say?
He's singing the secret tunnel song from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's funny. But it's also not unheard of for big complexes to have tunnels underneath
Well,
for
maintenance tunnels.
maintenance tunnels, stuff like that. It's not unheard of. But her conspiracy, she goes into in these high schools, apparently in chat groups, she's seen them talking about honeybees a lot, and she's like, what is this? Is it drugs? Are they referring to drugs as honeybees or whatnot? And then all of a sudden she hears from apparently someone who's adjacent to a teacher, so whatever the hell that even means.
A TA?
Yeah. So, someone who's adjacent to a teacher, that the honeybee or this bee symbol that's being passed around in schools is part of this Polish underground group, and that somehow this is now connected to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and that there might be some form of uprising coming. And in addition to that, because of the honeybee symbol, and she literally went there because the Utah changed their flag to emphasize that beehive more. So now we've got the and somehow she wrapped the frickin' it was a Polish underground communist movement. So now she invented the Polish Mormon communists conspiracy behind the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Is she just trying to stack dominoes? When she can prove one, all her theories are correct.
The thing is too, is in her video she produces receipts, but all the receipts are just her sending a message to someone and not showing any replies.
She's
it's
quoting
like-
herself. Is that what you're telling me? She's quoting herself?
Effectively.
Oh,
Effective.
what
She's trying to
happened?
stack dominoes. She's trying to make a domino train to prove herself right.
But we got to really watch out for those Polish Mormon communists, though.
Oh, jeez. If there's one group of people that hates communism more than most Americans, it's the Poles.
I was listening. I heard.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're going to create a conspiracy theory, okay, don't choose the
two
Polish.
groups, the two groups that hate communism.
Yes, okay, the churches, I know they've never made an official stance, but every book, I mean, you read, is like, no, communism is bad, and the Polish hate freaking communism, okay?
Yeah. But what's
Like-
funny
They
though,
hate
too,
communism because their country didn't exist for 50 years.
Yep, like,
Well, I was listening to Louder with Crowder from the episode this morning. They were talking about this, and so they're getting into this whole Polish Mormon communist conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk, and so they pulled it up like, oh, hey, look, we got breaking news from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In 1936, you basically can't be called an American or a Latter-day Saint if you support communism. Breaking news from 1936.
We'll take this off the books. I know this is going on the internet, and the internet will be forever, but when you
Hallelujah.
break it down, the law of consecration.
by the
at
way,
its
you are
fundamentals
live.
Is,
You are live. There's no editing in this.
Well, you're mentioning the law of consecration, or like the sacred order. There's many different names used for it.
But
Law of
continue.
consecration is the most. The church in that statement says that it only bears a superficial resemblance to
and that's what I'm
that
getting. Like,
order.
when you break it down to the basic fundamentals, you take dictators out of there, you take like all the corruption out of there, it's almost a 1-for-1. Like the individual gets what they need, and then the rest goes out to everyone else.
Yeah.
The only reason communism is the way it is here on Earth is because there's not a perfect leader. Like there's not a perfect society.
Yeah.
It's not run by a perfect being.
Man is imperfect, and realistically, we know Satan. He creates counterfeits for everything that God creates. And
Exactly.
we have the consecrated order, and his counterfeit to that is the communist system.
hmm I know you broke it down in your last episode, but absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And did you catch
Or-
all of it that I said about that?
No, like I was trying to tee it up for you.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing is, my dad always said to me that absolute power corrupts absolutely. But in more recent years, I have come to the conclusion that power doesn't corrupt anyone. It merely allows that person to project their moral character onto other people. And so it's like, these people who gain power and then display corruption, they were already corrupt. They did not have pure hearts. And then that power didn't corrupt them, it just allowed them to project their corruption.
Yes. So. Yeah. I hear your phone typing away. What you looking at?
Yeah, John, you're clearly looking at something interesting. Breaking news.
No, just...
Oh, on that note of breaking news, the attack on the ICE facility. You
Oh,
heard
in
about that
Texas?
Dallas,
In
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Somebody
And-
else decided to write on their bullets.
Yeah. And then apparently the
Who
FBI
was-
came
who
out and
was
they
it?
have determined it's effectively a copycat killer of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Who was it? I don't think they've
copycat killer
released.
They,
I don't think they've
did they
released the
catch
name
the
of the shooter.
person, or is it... They still
It
looking
sounds
for it?
like they caught him because they said they refused to release the name of the shooter. So it sounds
gonna
like
say
they either
it's-
caught him or they have a suspect in custody.
Okay, listen. I am not racist. I love everybody.
But apparently it was a white person, though, by the way.
No. What I'm just going to say here
Keep
is... Okay,
The shooter, not
no.
Not the guys who shot.
Everyone's so upset over ICE kicking out immigrants.
illegal immigrants.
Ah.
Let me correct you. Yes, they're not immigrants. They're illegal immigrants. There's a right way to enter this country, and there's a wrong way. If me, as an American citizen, were to try to go to Europe without a passport and try to live there,
That's ironic. 'Cause
I
none
would
of us
be-
want to go to Europe.
I know, but I'm just saying, if I wanted to go anywhere in this world and try to live there, how fast I'd be thrown in jail, possibly shot. Everyone doesn't care about the rest of the world, but the moment America says, no, you got to follow our rules. Everyone freaks out, and then people say, oh, these illegal immigrants have rights under the Constitution of the United States. No, the Constitution of the United States is meant for the citizens of America. It was the best breakup letter ever written in the history of forever. Okay.
Well, that comes down to his order, Trump's executive order on the birthright citizenship. It comes down to what do we define, or how do we define the parameters of the 14th Amendment, where we
I was going to
gave
say, what is an
citizenship-
American citizen?
Yeah, well, that's the point of the 14th Amendment, where we gave citizenship to the freed slaves and the children of free slaves, made them all civilians across the board. The people who wrote it took care to exclude the Native Americans at the time. They were not seen as citizens. They weren't even seen as part of our country. They weren't seen as being under our jurisdiction at the time. And so that's the key operating phrase, that they are those who are subject to the jurisdiction will have citizenship. So they may be here illegally, and then the children may be born here, but then do we
Does that
define
constitute
someone
an
just
American
born
citizen?
here as a citizen? But that's the thing, though, is even American citizens, I mean, you could have a kid that's not a citizen if you don't actually fill out the paperwork properly and get it submitted if your kid's born outside the country. It's not all, you got to make sure that paperwork gets submitted. Otherwise, you have a kid who's actually not a citizen.
Here's
I do have the article pulled up about the ICE shooter. 29-year-old gunman. I refuse to say his name, but he did decide to take the sewer slide.
The what?
So, sewer slide.
Sewer slide. I don't get the
Yeah.
reference.
He decided to ride the sewer slide.
Okay, he's self-terminated.
Exactly.
here's
like
my
sewer
thing
slide.
is, I'm sorry, I
That's
have
not
to
so
speak.
uncommon for a lot of shooters. Though.
It's not, but on my thing about immigration is my brother, okay, great guy, married a lady not from here, okay, and she is phenomenal. She is the coolest person I know.
Should I say it?
No, just
Okay.
we're gonna keep his name off the record.
No, not his name.
and what he does and
Okay.
everything off the record, just
For
because of what he
privacy
does.
sakes.
Just
I
for
get it.
everything, but she became an American citizen after years. And I mean, I remember my brother calling me, hey, I need a reference. You've met my wife. Can you help me out here? And I'm like, hell yeah, bro. She's phenomenal. And I remember the day she got her citizenship, I get a call. I'm at work, and I get a call. And I'm like, hi? Why are you calling me? She's like, I'm an American now. And I was like, hell yeah! Like, super exciting. It was a super proud moment for her that she had been working on. And she's here legally. The thing I do have to say, the one thing I wish, because it's expensive to become a citizen. How about if people really want to fix a problem, how about we reform the policies of what it takes to become a citizen? Maybe look at the money, because we all know it's all about money. Okay? We all know everything across the board is about money. Money rules this world. Okay? Why don't you look at it and say, okay, an immigrant isn't going to have 10 grand to become a citizen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is why normally they run with a sponsor.
I know, but still, what if you can't even afford a sponsor? Because you do have
On that
the
note of
sucky thing
sponsorship,
is
we'll
you
get to that.
do have people. You do have people, and this is a hard thing about such a hard topic as
There are a
immigration.
lot of great people who really do deserve to be here. But at the same time,
Actual refugees that are coming here because America is the greatest country in the world.
but at the same
So
time, though, too, if we just accept everyone and we flood our country without them being able to have that chance to assimilate, you get exactly what I had in my mission in DC, in the DC South mission. It's in Northern Virginia, where you had there were so many immigrants that followed all the diplomats that lived there, basically. So you had Little Mexico, and then right next to you had Little El Salvador, and they hated Little Mexico, and Little Mexico hated Little El Salvador, and they both hated Little Guatemala, and Little Guatemala hated both of them. And then a few miles over, you had Little Vietnam, and you had Little Mongolia, and you had Little Korea, and you had Little China. They all hated each other too, except the Vietnamese.
Well, at least
actually
the
didn't
color
hate anyone,
palette
'cause
was
they never
staying
actually cared
separate.
about anyone.
Well,
Like that's one of the
everyone hates
missionaries-
everyone. Yeah.
One of the missionaries in my mission, he left as I was getting in. He had counted 109 different countries he came in contact with in that area. And one of the most universal features that everyone, they weren't divided by race in their little neighborhoods. They were divided by nationality. And so you could go to the Little Mexico, but the way you interacted with the people in the Little Mexico area, who are all from Mexico, is not the same way you had to interact with the people from El Salvador or Guatemala, because they have a lot of things in common culturally because they're geographically close, but they still had cultural differences and cultural norms that were different from each other. And then same
So
thing
that brings
with all
up-
these other countries. Go ahead, Logan.
That brings up a question I've been wanting to talk about forever. Like, I bring this up to anyone who will listen to me. That's one of those, like, what defines an American besides an ideology? Like, we don't have a race or a culture or anything that brings us all together. All it
That's
is
a
an
lie.
ideology.
I'm sorry, I'm going to shut you down. That is a lie.
used to have a culture.
We do have a culture, and I still say we do have a culture. It is accepting everybody else's culture. No, I'm dead serious. Look at it. We have taken everybody's beliefs.
That's what I see as ideology.
And we have said,
Right?
you know what?
It's a melting pot.
And that is what makes us, in my opinion.
Well, we weren't necessarily designed as a melting pot, but really designed as a country where we could come together and actually basically peacefully live alongside each other. But as Tim
Exactly.
Pool has put it, though, right now, Tim Pool has put it this way, where we have two countries fighting for dominance inside the United States right now. We have a constitutional republic, which is us, and we have a multicultural democracy, which there's no unifying culture on that side besides the supremacy over the constitutional republic.
Can I?
And they're fighting for dominance. That's what this is. And I would go as far as to say that we are in the Civil War has started. We're just in the escalation period of it right now, because more and more terror attacks happening, more and more violence happening across the U.S. in a much more rapid succession. I would say we are in Civil War. We're just in the escalation period now.
Can I get into
Go
the
ahead, go
American
ahead.
culture here? Okay, so American culture is diverse, dynamic, a melting pot of traditions, okay, from around the world, characterized here.
Who is this from?
This is just Google. I just did a
Okay.
quick Google,
Urban
just a
Dictionary.
So the
quick.
liberal bastions who want us to brainwash us and everything, right?
Yes, it's just a quick little thing. Okay, I know Google's evil, but sometimes it's helpful.
It doesn't help that they remove
Okay.
"Don't Be Evil" from their.
Yeah. So,
the company policy.
I like this. Characterized by core values like individualism,
Mm-hmm.
hard work, freedom, equality, alongside popular elements such as American music, movies, fast food, and sports. AKA the American dream. Is we've accepted all of these things, and but you have these key points that makes America different is like the way the founding fathers set it up is, you know, when you learn about the founding fathers, they wanted to end slavery. They wanted everyone to be free and have their own rights, but they understood at that time that people were just gonna tear our country apart from the get-go if they did that. So they're like, hey, we gotta hold off here until the right time, and then, you know, when people are not so idiotic. The hardworking, we used to be, I'm going to say this, we used to be one of the hardest working countries in the world.
Used to
I
be.
think they're still out there. We're just a very silent majority.
Oh yes, we definitely are, but I
It's
was just
also
getting
hard for
into it.
that group to be actually productive when all
Did
of our
you know what
jobs have been shipped
also-
overseas.
Oh yeah, that is very true. Thing that does make us super different from the rest of the world, though, we are the most patriotic country
That
in the
is-
world.
that
You
is
can
true.
this is what I said. I have
Well,
I
don't
have
know
liberal
about the
friends.
World, but it may at least in Western world. So
Yes,
all
in
here.
Western world. I should
'Cause
say Western
I don't
world.
know. I actually really don't know anything about the Philippines or Indonesia or India, China. I imagine the Chinese probably hate China too, but they
I
just
know
can't
the
talk
Dominican-
about it.
I know the Dominicans hate their country.
So here's the thing: is
Apparently, the North Koreans love their country, but
don't
I
think they have a
can't say
choice.
I have never met a North Korean.
well, here's the thing. You can talk to almost anybody. It's like brothers, okay? You hate each other, okay? You
But
beat
you
the
only
crap
get to
out of
pick on
each other. But it's only you,
Yeah.
okay? When the rest of the world, I've seen so many people, when the rest of the world picks on America, even if they are the most liberal, communistic person that lives here, they're like, hey, you can't do that.
Don't bang the table.
You can't do that. I'm making a point here.
Yeah, but it might break. Seriously, it's a piece of crap.
Okay, but I just want to say is the whole point is, I mean, we've created as Americans jazz, okay, blues, rock and roll,
Gotta
okay,
thank the South for
Okay.
that.
and country music, okay,
Again, the South.
football, basketball, baseball, okay.
Most of those based off another sport, but yes.
Yes, I know, but we took it and we made it better, okay, and this is coming
It
from
is-
somebody.
it is
It's
better.
it's the Chick-fil-A mentality. They didn't invent the chicken sandwich; they perfected it.
Yes.
Well, I remember talking to someone. I can't remember if it was one of my friends or just someone I met who's British, and I had mentioned that no, real English is American English. Like, no, it's British English. Like, no, it's American English because we're the empire right now. You're always welcome to try and retake the title and
I
and
mean,
say
we
that,
created
but-
one of the greatest foods of all time. The American barbecue.
Oh, I
Not
thought you
your
were gonna
hot
say-
dogs. Okay, not your hot dogs and
No,
hamburgers.
that's German.
If you're talking about food genre or individual food, yes, both are the same. It's American, but specific food is bacon versus
Canadian bacon?
genre. It's barbecue. No, because any other country's form of bacon is just pathetic and sad and
It-
makes you want to cry.
Well, most countries around the world can't even have bacon.
True.
That is very true. But I just want to say, as my American pride comes out here, that we're unique, and that's what we were meant to be. That's what the founding fathers wanted us to be. Is this unique melting pot. I'm what is
I
it,
don't
48 or
know.
50% Scottish? I got to look at my DNA
I
again.
don't know if they really want us to be a melting pot, but at least I would say they want us to be a place where the individual could come and just be left alone.
And be free.
Well,
We're all immigrants. At some point, our families came here. I mean, my family, when you look at my family tree, we helped settle Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky. We were right there along Daniel Boone, okay? And Davy Crockett, and all of those famous guys that they don't teach about in school that did incredible things and were incredible Americans. We helped settle Oregon. We traveled across the plains.
Oh, well, that's,
Okay.
That kind of was a failed experiment.
Yeah, that was a failed experiment, but we don't. Okay, we'll get to that topic another day. But the point is just as we're unique melting pot. That's
well,
going
if
through
we
a
can
lot
break
right
down
now.
the American ideology, I would dare say it's God, family, country.
Used to be. I would say used
I
to
don't
be.
care. I don't care what God you serve, as long as you have faith in something.
Mm-hmm. I would
And then
say
the
it used
family-
to be, Logan.
Then used to be. That's the fundamentals that our founding fathers built on, because they were all like Presbyterian and whatever other religion was around in the day.
Well, they firmly believed
Not
in
Presbyterian. Were they Protestants?
God,
Yes,
country,
Protestants, see,
and right to bear arms.
I
fools.
can't remember when Presbyterians were
So-
founded, but a lot of them broke off. Like, I know evangelicals, a lot of them broke off of Protestants and Calvinists.
Yes.
Because you
So
gotta remember,
it's
it was the Protestants and the Calvinists who are the ones that signed the Mormon extermination order in Missouri.
Yeah, we'll have to talk.
That's
about that in
fair,
depth.
but we got to talk about that another day, because that didn't go out the window until the 80s. But
But
Um,
it's we're under
the whole
attack.
God, Yes, we are. And I would dare say it's on the family aspect of things. Because for me personally, I was raised on the mentality of God, family, country. Believe in your God, believe in a family. It's like, all right, I've got my family here. You, John, and Kyle, you both have your families. You're going to defend them to the very end. I'm not even going to mess with that. And it was it's now the lack of defense for the family that I think is where our country's going under.
I mean, the
My
church
wife's
released
saying it was the Puritans, by the way.
for founding
Puritans?
fathers.
Well, yeah, a lot of them were Puritans back then.
And
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
I couldn't remember the name, but I believe that's mostly right. Like it's the
I knew it
Protestants
started
that
with the
came
P. I
over
just
with
couldn't
the
remember what P word it was.
Protestants, Lutherans, they all started. Protestants and Puritans, I believe, mostly came from Europe to
mean-
get away from the Church of England. But then,
how
Yeah.
often, back to Logan's, what he said, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints released the proclamation of the
but-
family.
yeah, the first settlers were
Back in
Puritans,
what,
but then later
99?
settlers
In the
were
90s,
Protestants.
yeah, they released it in the 90s and said, hey, this is important. Like, family's important.
And 30 years later, the very concept of gender is completely dissolved.
And now you
Exactly.
So
understand.
what is a family when you can't even identify what gender is?
Well,
I wanna
okay,
see-
ready for this?
I want to say you two were around when that came out, weren't you? I know you were
Yep.
maybe like small.
I was a baby boy!
Yeah,
was a
how
baby.
old are
I
you
wasn't
again?
even
I'm
conceived.
30.
You're 30.
I'm
How
a
old are you,
youngin'.
Logan?
He's young.
I'm 25.
Oh gosh, you baby.
I'm the first year that started with 2.
25? You
Yeah.
are to me what I am to my wife's brother.
But-
I'm 11 years older than you.
As we're
and then
coming
he's
up
11
here,
years older than me.
as we're coming up here on a very, very long session, is
I've had fun.
been all over the place, which is what this Guys Night podcast is about. It's just a nice, good conversation of talking, and is just the family is under attack. The overall core principles, and I have to say my personal belief. I agree with you, Logan. God, family, country is very important, and holding on to that.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints posted on Facebook 2 days ago. Today marks the 30th anniversary of the introduction of The Family, a proclamation to the world. This proclamation continues to teach us today that we are all members of a heavenly family that provides the model for our families on earth. The family
And that was
proclamation.
insane when it came out.
Yeah. The Family Proclamation teaches about family, marriage, and gender and their part in the kingdom of our Father in heaven. It states the family, quote, the family is central to the Creator's plan for the eternal destiny of his children, unquote. This statement is the crux of the message of the proclamation. Quote, each of us is a son or daughter of heavenly parents, unquote, with earthly opportunities to help build the kingdom of God. He loves us, every one of us, no exceptions. He knows us. He knows where we will thrive, what experiences immortality will help us grow in spirituality, and in what circumstances we will bless the lives of others, unquote. There's a quote within a quote.
Can we actually? Do you mind if I say your wife's name?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
I've said it
Chrissy.
before, too.
Is if there's a way that we could possibly get the link to that I think that would be awesome to have that linked underneath our
Yeah, we can throw that in the
YouTube.
links on the YouTube video.
I think that is what a wonderful document. Even if you're not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, here is fundamentally it's for everybody. It is a phenomenal document, and we live in a crazy world.
Even if you hate what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints stands for, like, it's a document just for the well-being of the soul.
Yeah, I would say believes in, because everyone you talk to is like, hey, the Mormons are those people that are really kind and really help their neighbors.
And they have
This
big
is just,
families.
and they have big. This document here is to help Like, it is there to help you. I mean, the church believes in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ believes in helping people. I mean, how many times have we talked about
he
that?
taught us to help people.
He did teach us to help people, and sometimes we suck at it, okay? Everybody does. But it's one of those things that needs to be thought upon as we are traveling through this dark time as a nation, as individuals. I mean, I look to you guys as family. I mean, Logan, we've been hunting together 3 years now. I mean,
You and I spent so much time up on the mountain. We're pretty much brothers at this point.
Yeah,
Well, we're blood brothers. We might
Literally.
not share a parent, but we've shed blood together.
we're brothers from another mother.
That sounded really gay.
Yeah, that's it. But on like a serious note, like, you know,
yeah, I know
the
what
church
you
the church asks you to use the term brother and sister because we are all a part of a heavenly family.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we should wrap up here, but before we do, like any
Oh,
last
come on. We got another 15 in us, don't we? Round this out to 2 hours.
it's getting late. I think, but if you want to continue talking,
I
that's-
say that
we-
jokingly.
We can go ahead and do a couple things and just get wrapped up here. Go ahead, John.
I mean, I just wanted to end. I think we're going to try to do something here, and for all the viewers, if you want to comment, you know, people you'd love to hear quotes from or whatever. But I'll quote.
Let these guys know who you want on.
Do
Like,
we want people?
other-
No.
Do we want another person on? How do you know we want?
I'm
another
sorry if
person?
I've been disruptive.
You're good. You're good.
No, I have thought about getting us set up so we can even take calls live on show, so that can be a feature of the
I would
channel.
like to call my old man if I would like to call my pops if he ever.
Another thing of show business too. We're gonna be moving this to Saturdays, which also means I may end up hosting our guys' nights events more often. Just because, I mean, we can eventually just
There you go, pull
convert
people
this
out from the
upstairs.
crowd.
Well, we can just convert this upstairs into the gaming room. I wanted to do the studio/gaming room. And so we can, if we have our Halo nights up here, we can be doing the podcast. Guys can be playing in the background. We can rotate who comes on and chats on the Guys Nights episode. So
Let's
once a
think
month,
about
we
that.
just have a Guys Nights podcast where everyone's hanging out, they're doing their business, and we rotate who comes out here and joins the conversation.
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can work on stuff.
I mean, that's the
There's a
thing.
lot.
It says Rum IRL, the real Utah men, and at the very bottom, a Guys Night podcast. We might as well incorporate Guys Night into it.
You gotta be
Mm-hmm.
careful, of course.
Oh, no one has to come onto the show who doesn't want to, of course. You were saying?
I forgot.
Yeah. Show gonna be moving to Saturdays, probably same time, 9 o'clock Saturdays. We might even go a little earlier, but I do like how it's dark outside since we've got these windows up here that just the lighting is terrible when there's sun coming through. It's not great now either, but it's worse when the sun's up. Go ahead, John.
Okay, well, the quote from our wonderful, wonderful first president and one of the greatest men to ever live, George Washington. General George Washington. Citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has the right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the pride and patriotism more than appellation derived from local discriminations. And I believe that is from his farewell address. So let's just take that into heart as we end this episode here, is national unity over regional identity. Is we are one nation under God, indivisible. Okay? We've forgotten that. We're united. We're the United States of America, not the divided states. We've already had one civil war. This country doesn't need another one. So, that's all I got to say.
I we'll finish out with Matt, chapter 5 from the New Testament.
Let's hear
We're
it.
going straight to there, all right?
Straight to the Bible here.
Verse 38 forward is in the Scripture Notes app. If you don't have the Scripture Notes app, get the Scripture Notes app. That's awesome. 38 and continue forward. Ye have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give unto him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. A lot of people, when they read this, they oftentimes misread it, in my opinion. Because in a lot of this, he's talking about these different scenarios. He's giving you these scenarios and telling you how to respond to them. And if you look deeper, and if you first look at it, he's saying you feel like he's saying take the peaceful option, but that's not exactly what he's doing. You have the peaceful option, and then you have the violent option, and then he's telling you no, take the third option in all of these. Because you could just give him the cloak, be peaceful, give him the cloak. You could go with him willingly the mile that he compels you to go. Like the Roman soldiers, by law, could force you to carry their stuff for a mile. But they couldn't force you to carry it any longer than that. But then the cloak was actually their undergarment. So he's saying, don't just give them your coat, give them your cloak so you go naked. And in Jewish tradition, it's extremely shameful to be the one who causes another to go naked. And in the Romans, they could have gotten in legal trouble if you went with them 2 miles. That wasn't a peaceful option. You put them at jeopardy by volunteering to go a second mile. You put that person who's suing you for your coat into the shameful position of taking your cloak also. You turn the other cheek, you put that person in a shameful position of striking you again, a man who won't defend himself. As we learn from the Anti-Nephi Lehi's, what did they do? Instead of rising up and fighting against their opponents, they surrendered their weapons and knelt, and then the hordes came and started slaughtering them. And then in that slaughter, their enemy realized the terror that they were doing, and they came unto repentance. Take the third option of making them go into the shameful position. That's really what he's telling us, is not necessarily being peaceful or not being peaceful, but taking the third option. Don't take the 2 options that they want you to take. They want you to take these 2 options. Because the soldiers would have loved to have had you disobey them, to carry their stuff for a mile, because then they can just arrest you and beat you and throw you in jail. But you go with them 2 miles instead of but if you just went with the 1, they got what they want. But you go with them 2, now all of a sudden they're in jeopardy. Because if they're found having you carry their stuff for 2 miles, even though it was willingly, they could have been in trouble. Put them in a position that will ultimately make them rethink even doing it again. There's a chance that those soldiers that made them carry the 1 mile and then they went with them willingly a second mile, there's a chance that they actually never forced someone to carry their stuff a mile again, because they were worried that same thing could happen, they could get caught.
Yeah.
So it's like we see this assassination with Charlie Kirk, we see this strike against ICE, we see this rampant escalation of violence coming from the left. Our options that are being put before us are to act out in aggression against them, or to lay down and take it. But that's not what we should do. We shouldn't be doing either one. We should be taking the third option. What that third option is, I don't know. strike the cheek, they strike your cheek, you turn the other cheek. They shot Charlie Kirk. Maybe just
Become the best husband, father, American you can be.
yeah.
That's
Or
really the only
even
ammunition
stand
we
up
have
and
against
take
them.
his place. Start speaking
Start a
out.
podcast.
Start a podcast like we did, and if someone becomes the next martyr, then they're put in a position again where a leftist has acted out violently and taken someone's life, an innocent person's life.
Go buy a gun.
Because look how much people are abandoning the left even before the Charlie Kirk assassination, and now after. If that were to happen again,
I would say
die the martyr's death. Don't die the death of a vigilante.
turn your heart to God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, become the best God-fearing husband and father you can become.
As I said, I think we're already into civil war. We're in the rapid escalation of it, but there's only one person who can stop it.
God.
God.
I honestly think the civil war we're going into is like one that the world has never seen before.
Well, it will be World War III, because if the U.S. is caught up in a civil war, we're taken out of the picture as a world power automatically, because we're having to deal with ourselves. And so
Well, how fast
you're
will-
going to see World War III
This
immediately
was such
kick
a
off.
lighthearted conversation, but how fast will our enemies turn on us once we start turning our backs on each other?
Mm-hmm. Or even our allies.
Sorry
How
to
many
bring-
of them can we trust?
Sorry to bring the roller coaster back down into a dip. We was so happy-go-lucky.
Well, a few other things, I guess. Finishing out, I'm planning on setting up a Amazon wish list for anyone who wants to support the channel. I'll get that set up and get it linked in the channel so people can go there if they want to help us.
Unlimited supply of Mountain Dew. Not Dr. Pepper here, guys. Come on. Help a brother out here.
Or equipment that's needed to help make this piss poor excuse for a studio run a little bit better. There's also going to be that option as well, and I keep looking back in that same freaking direction of Logan's voice because I'm an absolute idiot, and I keep looking back in that same direction.
Just all you need to do is get a monitor screen on the table when you
Yeah,
have
I
a
know,
guest
right?
like.
So,
I mean,
guests
that's
like
actually
this
one of
with you.
also, we'll
studios
take your
are-
ideas. I know I've taken some ideas, and I didn't talk about them tonight, but I have them written down. And it's just, you send your ideas, we will take everything into account and just decide when to record them or to share them and go from there. It's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With as many topics as you guys have, I'm surprised you're only doing a weekly drop. You could almost do it 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, well, then there's the issue of how much freaking time do we even have to do it?
And that's the thing. Like, that's the issue I'm starting to find out with my YouTube channel. Like, a good
There's
grief,
so
how much time.
much potential stuff to, even just when it comes to politics and news to talk about, it can get easy to get lost in all of it.
Well, it's not even the politics and news. How many history stories have not been told and like
Yeah,
they're
we
written
hadn't even-
down, but they're
you
not
had
told.
You yourself had talked before the show about bringing up some of the Medal of Honor recipients, and here we are about to end the show almost 2 hours in, and we haven't even gotten to that part of the
That's why I
conversation.
said, I mean, maybe I should have saved
Nah, it's
save
good.
that
You got
before,
another
but
one
there's
for
so
us. You got another one for us next week. A little over a week because it'll be Saturday instead.
So,
we
just for reference, I can bring this up
Oh,
whenever
let's,
you guys decide to have
True.
me on next.
You guys will
We're
be
gonna
on your
wait.
hunt.
We're gonna wait to do the Saturday for 2 weeks because that will be our opening day for the hunt. If that is all right with you, just because I
We
bet
can
you
delay
after the opening day of the hunt, I bet you we're all gonna be really tired because we're gonna.
Oh, we're gonna be exhausted Thursday of the hunt. What are you talking about?
Yes, I know, but Thursday is better than immediate. Okay.
Yeah,
Just give us, and then we'll have some cool experiences to share and talk about here.
well, who
and,
knows? You might. I can't say because I'm not a part of all this. All I am is a guest. But I would imagine that stream in particular is probably going to be dedicated to outdoors and kind of just stories being told.
Hopefully we'll have an elk head to show you guys. In
Or
front of
even
us.
better,
Four.
something tries to get you in the woods.
Dude, yeah, maybe a cougar will try to eat
Oh, I was
me again.
thinking of dark figures that love to haunt you all the time.
No, we don't talk about that. Okay?
Yeah, no, Kyle, it's dark. We don't.
We don't
Nope.
we don't bring that up right now.
I love
We
that,
will
Juju.
Well,
we will talk about
if-
that later. On a happier
if you
note, thank you
if you want
for
to get into that
listening.
kind of stuff, it's got to be sun outside.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for the discussion, guys. I mean, it's great. And if you have any ideas for a good theme song, opening and closing,
Oh, I'll be setting up a server, a Discord server specifically for chatter, tips for the show, anything, advice, any
you want to yell at us?
construct like compliments on what you think was well, and then also criticism on what you think we can improve.
Be
on.
nice. Don't call us bad words.
Just be brutal.
Yeah,
Just
be
tell the
civil,
truth.
you guys.
Civil
Good
but brutal
grief.
with the truth.
Y'all are
Be
feral.
honest. I like people to be honest and blunt, but don't go calling me bad names because I don't like it. I won't listen to you. So,
If you want someone that you can just be brutal to and not have to worry about backlash, just send it straight to me personally. I don't
No,
care.
send it to me because I'm not a part of the podcast. I can take it.
blame our guest.
He's automatically like cutting himself out. Like, all right, well.
I'll be on whenever. Just if you have anything too bad to say, just blame the guest. Always blame the guest. The host never does anything wrong.
Yeah, we do. We're a piss poor excuse of a podcast. Come on now.
Piss poor excuse for the studio. We are a horrible, terrible podcast. You can
They
ask
are real
anyone about
Utah
it.
men.
With that, we should end. Because
Absolutely.
that's a great ending statement right there.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching the show. Please remember, like and share.
Subscribe.
If you want us, especially if you want to support us, subscribe, like, and then share the podcast. Get the message out there. See who else might want to watch. And well, you guys have a good day.
Peace.
So a shameless plug, go check out Beard, Brass, and Blood as well for hunting content beyond
I
your
think
beliefs.
you're actually not live. Oh, never mind. You're still good. You're still good.
Christy's got it. She's
Okay.
got it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, Logan. Shout out your channel again, real quick.
I just did.
Beard, brass, and blood.
Give it
Yeah,
a
go
sh-
check out.
Go
Go check
check
out
it out.
Beard, Brass, and Blood just to see
He
how my
says he's
family
not part of
hunts.
the podcast, but he
We'll see how
probably
big of
will
a
be.
pansy John ends up being.
Okay, what did you just call me?
No,